All right, what up, everybody? Welcome back to another beat breakdown. This is the second song off of the For You album, Take It Easy. We're gonna dissect this song. It's a little bit more intricate. This one, it has a beat chain, a very cool beat chain. It's got a really cool pattern to it. Let's get into it. To start with the first part of the first half of the song, I've got one main kind of loop going in there. There's not much involved besides that loop, and in terms of melody, that loop sounds like this. So over the main melody, I've got this sample going on, which comes out later, the main sample of this part. But there's a vocal part of this sample that, you know, I just took randomly, reversed it, pitched it up.
Encore. Dis-moi que tu m'aimes, dis-moi que tu m'aimes.
So it's random, but if I put it to the main pitch, brought it up an octave higher, reversed it, and it started sounding like this. Sounded like a loop of its own. So that with the melody sounds like this. Now, to create a little bit more anticipation, I added a sub bass that's sustained throughout the whole bar. Now the bulk of this beat is very simple. I've got a hi-hat just going on the 16. There's a hi-hat roll right behind it, very subtle. It's just going super quick. I think it's like 132 triplet, like super trippy. It kind of just gives you a vibe right off top of the bat. And next I have a snare. I added a kick right after that. I added an open hat to kind of give it a bit of a groove. That kind of just sounds aggressive. Again, that rock feel. This is like, when I was thinking about this album, is very rock, but I'm not using the elements of like a live rock drum kit or guitars, you know. I'm not using much of that, but taking that like a groove or kind of what the hi-hat would do on a live drum, you know. And then all I had to do with the next part is add an 808, and boom, there was a beat. The beat after this is not too long anyways. It's the verse, hook, and the verse. The beat doesn't change much. It stays exactly the same. I didn't want the energy to go away. I didn't feel like the energy was stripped, so I just let the verse, you know, go with the same beat as the hook did, right?
Easy. Take it.
Created a gap between the hook.
It easy. मैं क्या फेर भी तू टाइम का तो मंगदी रहनी आ जदों पता केरे कने साडा टाइम आ हां वैल्यू ता पता केरा कर जट दी नी तेरे नाल दी तो पुछ मेरी फैन भज दे.
So I had actually recorded the song. It was only 2 verses when we started, but I actually recorded the song to the whole beat being just like that. So there's a song on the album Hair Loss that has a beat switch, which just took me back to, like, it felt desi to me, you know. So when I was making this song, it's super trap. Right? The song is super trap, but I wanted it to sound desi in the next part without it sounding desi, right? The first thing I wanted to do was find a drum loop in that situation. And as the trap beat is super quantized and it's all 16 notes, you know, I wanted to have time that and see where I could take it. So I started with the drum groove it sounded like. So, like, you know, the snare is really the only thing that's on beat. Everything else has kind of a swing to it. And then as a signature, you know, boom bap beat, I put a a real live bass, which sounded like. Hard. I added a kick because when I mixed it all together, it sounded not too fast, so I added a kick just to add a little bit enough. And so that first vocal sample I brought earlier has this beginning that really took the song to a whole different part. But this beginning of that song, you might be familiar with once I play it. Right, so that's fast, is the pitch is lower. I brought it to the speed of the song, and it sounded like this. So I have this one running in the main one. It has a Fab Pro Q2 to kind of EQ it, very poor EQing. I have an SSLG to kind of compress it, bring it up a little bit more. And then I have this stock Cubase reverb to add a little bit, like, you know, I'll add a little bit more of a sustain. And then I duplicated the same thing, so same pitch and everything. And instead of a reverb, I put a chorus on it, so now it's talking to me left and right. So we got the sample playing in the middle, we got sample playing on the left and right. You know, it just goes kind of in and out, this chorus effect, like an unpredictable sound, you know. So now I brought back in those vocal chops. So that's the bulk of that part of the beat. And then when he comes into the verse, I get rid of certain sounds that keep just the vocal part, as in this part. There's a song Still Here by Drake, and he does this part in that. Let me show you guys real quick. That's super abrupt, but it's just something that sounds cool. And you know, in Punjabi music, I wouldn't even say Punjabi music because even I don't do stuff like that, which is super abrupt. But in this case, it sounded super nice. It sounded seamless. The Drake reference is right here.
By myself, dog. Blew up and I'm in the city still. I'm still.
Goes back into the beat. Super abrupt, kind of weird, but it just made sense. So all I really did was I took the sample, took the drum, the kicks, and just put it on a 16.
ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਲੂਟ ਜੱਟ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਲੰਘਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਡੀਸੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਡੀਸੀ ਆਓ ਯਾਰੀਓ ਲਾਈਆ ਕਿਹੜਾ.
Right, so that right there, just say, whoa, what's that? And so, I mean, and then the beat switch is kind of just an add-on instead of us going back to the same beat after this kind of abrupt filler. You know, your beat switches and it's groovy, so it's pretty cool. And all I could say I added on to that is like, you know, crashes, right? That crash right there. You got a tom in the middle. Very, very like just slight. I didn't want to do too much. Like this ending right here, I love it. The last verse, the pre-chorus, right? Filtered it, and then stops. So yeah, just try to keep it very simple. A lot of people ask me about the intro, and that's actually a sample I found. It's called Bloodstone Instant Love. It's from Bloodstone, called Instant Love. I took it, I pitched it down by 4, slowed it down to the BPM of the song, played around with the EQ a little bit. And so another cool thing, again, another little part of adding an accent or adding something to move along the song is the swell, cymbal swell. So it lets me, so that lets me go from the sample, that swell lets me go from the sample into the like the beat, like without it sounding abrupt. If I took it out, it sounds like this. right? So it's like one thing ends, another thing starts. But the swell helps instead of like a riser or something. It's a swell, so you know it goes up, but it also comes down, and that swell just allows it to be seamless. Obviously, I put the Man Like Ikky tag in there, the original, but I have this other tag as well that I drop when I feel like it's the gem to drop. This one right here.
Have you seen a man like Ikky?
If you guys can tell me what other songs I put that in, you guys will win nothing. The first filler as well. Again, just trying to keep this one simple, trying to keep this trap beat simple. Pretty cool of a. Again, just this is probably more 2010s trap type of filler. But that's the thing. Sometimes I think we miss these things. Sometimes, like, you know, we're doing too much with the filler. We're adding toms and a snare and a kick and a hi-hat to make a fill. But we could just go simple, you know, to what it was, to when it was just, you know, 808 machines or something, and just something I could do with my machine. So what I thought next about the song was the outro. I wanted this compared to 52 Bars having a super aggressive outro. And Yana is one of those songs that has an outro that's super, like the ending is just the voice, right? And so this one I want to feel like something, because the next song is also falling apart. So we were going from a song Take It Easy that's trap and groove to now a sad song. So I tried bridging the gap between these two songs by making this part emotional. So I kept the sample and the vocal chop. And as you know it, we call Sandy. We get Sandy the Legend to do these things. So he sent me a Juno pad, a soft one right here. Sandy's really good at changing kind of the chord progression, not the chord progression, but the way it voices, to make something sound a little different, but yet you're still like, oh, it's the same song. So combined with the Juno pad, he has a swell pad. Just adds more light to it. Then there's this lead that ever so slightly comes in. Sounds kind of like an accordion. There's a piano at the back too that kind of just sprinkles in. You hear it. You know, I love that Moog bass behind, you know, any of these outros we've done. Chauffeur, 52 Bars, this song, you know, the Moog outros are just amazing. So with the bass, it sounds like. And then the vocal chop stop at the second part of this, and it's just the sample. Also, the volume is down to feel like, yeah, you're coming out of this song now, right? And there you go. That's the bulk of Take It Easy. A lot of this album, I gotta say, is a dark album in a sense that it's not dark words or anything. The words are either 52 Bars emotional or motivational, or Yana type of motivational. This one is like, you know, kind of like taunting your girlfriend, falling apart is sad. However, the beats, they seem to be on a more lo-fied, or take the highs out, or, you know what I'm saying, make the beats a little darker. And yeah, that's what I enjoyed about making this album. I was able to express myself in musically of how I was feeling in a winter mood. You know, the first time I sent everybody the album, it was called I was just a vision, so I called it Winter Vision. And yeah, just, you know, you're cold, especially in Canada. You're cold, you're grumpy, you're not getting out of your house much. This is what that felt like. You know, so that's Take It Easy. This is Cubase, and this is myself, Ikky, and yeah, for you, take it easy.